Hey everybody, Tabitha here from Tabitha Explores, taking you on a new cooking adventure. Now this one is not an Epicure meal solution, but I do use Epicure in this recipe. Now this is a requested one. My best friend wanted me to put this video out, so here we go. Today I am using the Nourish broth from Epicure, which is kind of like a chicken flavor, but it is vegan, I think. Let me just double check. It's at least vegetarian. It definitely doesn't have chicken in it. So yeah, but you can use any broth you find at the store and that, but you're gonna find it so much saltier from the store. Here, you know, like your sodium levels on this one is 85 micrograms for your 1.5 teaspoon of dry product. So really not a lot. It's enough to give you, you know, your salty flavor, but it doesn't overwhelm you like the broth that you can buy in the stores where it's all salt. So today I am making Polish pickle soup. It's also like dill pickle soup, some people call it. So it's one of my favorite soups. I love making it with the Nourish broth because it's so nice and easy and I don't have to put extra salt in. Seeing as it's pickle soup, I am adding pickles and pickle juice to this recipe, so I don't want to have too much salt in there. So I've got water coming to a boil now. I've got my broth mix in here already. It says to do 1.5 teaspoons for every cup of water, and I need 4 cups of broth for this dish. So I've got 6 teaspoons of the mix in here, and it's a 4-cup mixer that I've got, so I just need to fill it up with some hot water once that boils, or when I'm ready to mix it anyways. So the recipe starts with 2 tablespoons of butter, a medium onion, and then 4 large dill pickles, 4 large potatoes, and then you add the 4 cups of broth and 1.5 cups of pickle juice. And then there's a little bit that you do at the end to kind of make it creamy and that sort of thing. So I'm going to start that up now. Get my pot warm and starting to melt the butter, and I think my hot water is hot enough for what I need. So I'm gonna get my wooden spoon so that I can get everything mixed up in here. Get my butter all nicely melted, and then I'll add my onions so they can get started cooking. Doesn't need to be a lot, just to get them so that they get a little bit soft, right? So I think this is the first video I've done where I have kind of used one of their products in my own cooking, as opposed to usually I just do a meal solution or like one of their dip mixes, which I'm actually going to do tonight too. So I've got the pickle soup, and then I want to do some like veggies and dip. So I'm going to do up their French onion dip mix, which is really, really tasty. I love that one. I've only just tried it recently, and it's now one of my favorites. So I only have the 1 jar, and I'm definitely going to need more because it's a nice dip mix. So we'll get these onions going, and yeah. What else can I tell you about Epicure? I'm using their 12-cup pot here, which is going to be plenty big enough for what I need. You know, I actually really love their cutting boards here. They're cutting mats. It's really great for in the RV. They are flat, they roll up, they slide behind things. Just super, super easy, and clean up really nicely as well. So They're ideal to have here in the RV. I've also got their little measuring spoon. It comes with 3 different measurements, I think. A tablespoon, a teaspoon, and a half a teaspoon. And a silicone, you know, soup spoon and all that kind of fun stuff. So I'm definitely all in on their products. One of my favorite things, I'll show you one of my favorite things, and if it ever comes out again, I'm buying a bunch of them because it is the best thing for ice cubes in an RV. It has 9 individual square cubes for your ice and a lid. So you've got all of your ice in 9 individual pieces so you can refill as you use them. And with the lid, I've filled this thing and driven away from an RV park and not had any worries about ice going all over my freezer. So I will definitely be stocking up on those if they come back, because I know that you folks that live in and work or travel in your RVs would really love that product. So I've got the onions in, I've added the pickles. And now I'm going to add my potatoes. So it does call for 4 large potatoes. I had some small ones. I just cut them up. I haven't peeled them, but they're white potatoes, so that's fine. Won't be an issue. And then, yeah, it's just time to add the broth. So this is really easy recipe to do up, especially if you're not making your own broth. You're using the Epicure broth. Just like that. You've got 4 cups of broth, right? Just like that. Now the trick is to get it in the pot without spilling it. So let's see if we can do this. Oh, a couple of drips and that's it. All right, so 4 cups of the broth in there now. And then we cannot forget pickle juice. And if I remember correctly, yeah, it's 1.5 cups of pickle juice. And I tell you, if you like pickles, you're going to like this recipe, I tell you. It is so, so tasty. It actually kind of tastes like dill pickle chips, if you like dill pickle chips. If you don't like pickles, you won't like this recipe. So don't bother. And then the plan now, like I've got it in the pot here. I'll bring you over and show you what she's looking like, but I just really now it just has to sit and let the potatoes cook up so that they're nice and soft, and then I can put it back together and do the rest. So the next step is mixing together a bit of sour cream and flour, and then kind of adding the soup to that to temper the sour cream so that you don't spoil the sour cream, and then putting it back in, and then as well as blending it so that you get kind of a nice non-chunky soup. At least that's how I like it. You could do it as a chunky soup as well, I'm sure. And then yeah, let it cook for a little bit longer and you're ready to go. So I'll give you a quick view of how the soup looks in a moment here, and then yeah, we'll just wait for it to cook up. All right, so there is our soup, nice and cooking. You can tell from the color it's definitely got pickles and pickle juice in it, that kind of like fluorescent green color. But I promise once you put the flour and the sour cream in, it looks a little bit more appetizing. So let's wait for that to cook up, and we'll show you the next steps. All right, we are back. Recommended time for boiling so that the potatoes cook nicely down is about 20 minutes. And I'm almost there, but I thought I'd prep the rest of this. So the last things to use to put into this is 2 tablespoons of flour. So I've got my flour here. I'm just going to use the same thing I had before. And then about a cup of sour cream. So this is kind of our thickener, right? It's going to thicken it, cream it up, make it, it's going to be nice. It's going to be really good. I love it. I've made this recipe like so many times. And I've got a little whisk to go in there, mix the flour and the sour cream a little bit. It gets a little easier once you start adding the soup. So don't need that anymore. The next thing for me is to start adding the soup to this to temper the sour cream so you don't spoil the sour cream. So I'll just turn this off now so it's not like boiling away at me. And I just want to take kind of just the broth and get a few scoops of just the broth into here. Let's do 3 for now. And then we can start kind of mixing it with the sour cream and flour just to get it nice and soupy. I am making a mess. Okay, still got a big ball of sour cream there. Add a little bit more of the soup. Oh, come on. Of course, problems. I never have problems with this, but apparently today I have problems. I am using different sour cream than I would back home in Canada, so I'm not used to this as much, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Just getting that warm enough for the sour cream to kind of meld. All right, and then we can put it back into the soup. All right, next step, I'll just mix it around a bit to get it all blended in there, and then we are going to blend the soup. Now, the plan is to not get it all over the place, so let's do this. I don't let it blend it till it's all liquid. I just like to get it so that it's not too chunky. I'm sure that you've had enough of listening to that. And I'm sure that it is blended enough for what I want. And there we go. Polish pickle soup. Nice and easy. Again, it's a quick recipe. Even though it's not an Epicure recipe, it is very quick. I will make sure to put the recipe in the description for you so you've got the full recipe. I'll give you a quick show of how it looks at the end here. Put it in a bowl, and then yeah, I'll give it a taste, I guess, for you here. Let's get a little in the bowl. So, all right, let me switch the camera around and I'll give you a show, and then we'll taste it. Actually, let's taste it first, shall we? So, now I've had this so many times before. I love it every time. Still so good. First time I've used these pickles though. What did I use? Mount Olive pickles from the US here. So yeah, I'll switch it around. I'll give you a quick look on how the final product looks, and I thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you like this recipe and you want me to do some more recipes kind of like this, then just let me know and I will throw some more out there. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.